So, one thing I didn't tell you guys in the last video, or no, 2 videos ago when I talked about being back, and I gave you guys this whole update of, graduating, being a working class man, moving out, and all of that. Well, not moving out. That sounds like I'm by myself. No, moved out of my old house with my family. What I didn't tell y'all was that I have great friends as well. If you can see over there, I don't know if you guys can really see, just behind my computer setup, which is still in progress, and this whole room in general. So right after graduation, right, my friends and so I think it was one of my other friends' birthday, and we were all supposed to meet up, have dinner. Now, I think everybody kind of got ready at my house, so we all got ready. I think that day was like a crazy day. Everybody had different things to do, and we kind of circled back around my spot and was to leave from my spot to the spot for the dinner, which wasn't too far from my house, which is also my favorite restaurant. Not Greco, another restaurant I'll tell you about close to where I live. And long story short, or long story long, we get there, right? This is supposed to be a dinner party for my other friend. And we got there, and I'm seeing friends that are not friends or are not around the same clique as the clique that I have present at that birthday dinner, or that I planned that birthday dinner with. I'm like, why are you here? You don't know anybody here. Only to find out that it was a surprise dinner party for me to celebrate my graduation. And long story long, I was gifted a 2,000 plus ultra wide curved, what was it, 49? Yeah, 49-inch monitor, Samsung monitor. Amazing. So my thing about podcasts, they're lovely, they're great. I think it's one of the best mediums out there for people to express who they are, express themselves. But I feel like podcast, well, I think I used but in the wrong place. I think what I was supposed to use was however. I think however is the right word. Didn't do too good in English class, but I am heavily considering hopping on the podcast wave. Yeah. Been thinking about this for a couple of months now, and very concerned, or better still, very confused as to how to infuse it into my content. Because I feel like y'all need to hear a lot of what's going on in my head. y'all need to get my perspective about a lot of things. But I think the question is to you guys. How do you guys want to have that? Because I want to do a visual and audio, and heavy on the visuals. Only because I think it's a different perspective when you can see the people that are talking, especially easy to infuse that into YouTube. It'll be kind of weird for you guys to just listen to an audio. Well, not really weird because I've seen it done before, but I just think it'll be best if it's YouTube. Should be video, you know. But this is my biggest fear. Now, yes, obviously, you know, for it to be a podcast, it has to be with 2 or more people. It's kind of how things work when it comes to the podcast world. I'm very nervous because I have a few people in mind that I want to do this with, but I think, you know, it's something that you have to be very careful with, because the people you're going into this thing with has to be people that you tell yourself, okay, I am ready to run this race with you guys till the end of time. Not till the end of time, but you get my point. If something happens and you guys just, you know, part ways, now your friendship that is no longer in existence is not only causing problems it's not only danger to your friendship, because you guys are not friends anymore, or you guys just aren't, you know, as cool as you guys used to be. It will also affect your business. So in a nutshell, you've mixed business with pleasure. You've mixed business with home, which is what I like to call it. It's like, when I say home, I mean like doing business with family, doing business with close friends. Because now it's like, once you guys part ways, your audience split, or your audience reduces, or you start, it's just bad for business in general. So that's what I'm kind of nervous about. So I have a few people in mind that I want to start this with, but I don't know how it's gonna go yet. I just really want you guys' opinion. What I think something that happened of late that kind of fueled my confusion. So I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar. Well, if you guys aren't, there's a podcast named I Am Athlete. Well, I Am Athlete is more of a movement. I think it's for athletes, health and wellness. They have gymnasiums. They have products that helps athletes stay healthy and stay active. And then they have a podcast, and I think they have some type of merch or some type of store or whatever, online store. Anywho's, they have a podcast where the OG athletes in football and basketball and soccer and whatever you can name it sit together. Well, I mean, the founders of the podcast are mainly football players, but from time to time they have guests from different athletic concentrations, sit down with them and talk to them about rising issues in the sports industry, talk to them about what's going on in the industry, and just talk about trending or hot topics, the things that younger athletes want to hear, need to hear, and would help them in their career moving forward in life. So it's been super dope. I started watching this like last year, like I think it was the later part of last year. I think in the summer or in the fall, beginning of fall, somewhere between that. I was watching this podcast, enjoying the heck out of it, only to find out that they split ways, or they parted ways at the beginning of this year. I'm talking about Brandon Marshall. I'm talking about Fred Taylor. I'm talking about Shannon Crowder, Ocho Cinco. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. Chad Johnson. Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's his real name. Chad Johnson. They all split or parted ways. Now, the next thing that's trending for them is what happened or why we had to leave. I don't want to have to get in that situation where I create contents like that, because I think it's I mean, it's smart for business. People want to make money. They want to get the views and all that great stuff. But then again, it's like, why does your channel have to? Well, okay, I believe from that point on, it's no longer authentic. A lot of people would have arguments to that it's still authentic because it's unfiltered. I get that. But it's almost like this generation feeds off of negativity, feeds off of strives, feeds off of chaos, commotion, and all of that. But it doesn't always have to be like that. That's in my opinion. And I feel like whenever people get in that space, it's almost like, oh, great. Now we can shoot some content. Now we can get more views. Oh my God. Now we can climb up the ladder. You know, same thing in relationships. When people go into relationships, like have some type of content creating platform as what's it called, as couples, then you get to see that, you know, when they do eventually break up, well, I mean, if they break up, or I think more of when, because once you start, well, that's a different conversation for another day, well, for another section, or for another minute. But 9 times out of 10 they break up, and when they do, it's almost like this person splits up, this person gets one channel, the other person gets another channel. You guys know there's a lot of those around. And then when that happens, now is, oh, what happened, what I've been enduring for years, marriage of 10 years broken apart. This is why my side of the story, that tag is overused. In my early days of watching YouTube, I would see these tags like, ooh, what happened? Ooh, let's get the juice. Now it's like nobody cares. But yeah, I'm trying to start a podcast. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what trust me, I'm not even gonna ask you. Well, your opinion is more than welcome as always. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about. But trust me, I'm not just flying into this because I want to do something that's cool or something else that's cooler. But trust and believe that I have a lot up here that I want to share with you guys, and get another person's perspective on it at the same time, which is what makes it cool and dope.